What role does physical planning play when accommodating refugees?
Thank you. The role that physical planning play in accommodation of refugees is organizing the space for their settlement. It's a county government function that is meant to optimize space and provide basic infrastructure and services, not only to the refugees but also to the host community. So physical planning, or rather the urban spatial planning in this aspect, is very crucial in optimizing the available space and making the settlement where the refugees live a conducive environment and a sustainable space, for a number of years to come.
And how do you assure inclusion between refugees and the locals?
How we ensure we adopt the approach of participation. We bring together the refugees, the NGOs responsible, and the host community alongside the leadership of the host community together. So in the process of inclusiveness and the participation, we ensure the ideas, the needs are also taken on board. And we also ensure the host community needs are also taken on board, so that now when we make a decision or when we plan initial stages, we have everybody's ideas and needs taken on board.
And can you give us some examples of what these needs would be?
For refugees, when they come and they are hosted by the host community, there are a number of needs, and just to mention, we have the basic needs like water. They need water. They need educational facilities for their children. They need also health facilities, which they don't have. I mean, it is these needs that we have we've advocated for since then we started the integration program with the host community to be taken on board, to be considered when we are resettling these refugees side by side with the host community, so that the basic needs are taken care of in the refugee settlement camps, and it is also considered to spill the host community. So, like for example, the water being one of the social infrastructure which is very important. We must have a water supply which serves both, the refugees and also the host community. So these are some of the needs that are very important to be considered in the integration programs. We also have other needs like housing. It's a basic need. So this is some of the needs that needs to be considered as a priority, without which then the refugees would be in a very deplorable state where they cannot protect themselves from weather, when there is rain or when there is sun. So you need housing as a priority. So some of those basic needs, therefore, just to mention and to list, we have the food, housing, which is shelter, and even sometimes clothing. Others just come in without even proper clothing. So these are some of the things that needs to be prioritized in the spirit of integration, in the spirit of inclusion, and even the settling of the refugees in a more human manner.
What would you say is the most important thing we can do right now to ensure that we create inclusive spaces for refugees?
What is possible and what we have done as Turkana County is providing spatial planning. The spatial planning we are talking about is organizing the space which the refugees have been provided to settle. So we organize this space where we identify spaces for residential, where we identify the space for public purpose, say schools, health centers. We also identify space for just playing, playing ground for children, and even a recreational area for adults. We also designate specific places for waste management, because as the population increases, you expect a lot of generation of waste, and so we provide these spaces, and that is taken care of in the spatial plan, which we prepared to cover about 1,500 hectares. That's sufficient space that we can be able to, forecast and project that we'll be able to take a number of refugees for a period of time. This without forgetting the host community also, which we want to bring on board to integrate, to do business, in the same space. And probably that way we would also have empowered, the refugees in one another in terms of doing business and getting something out of their business activities. Yeah.
And is this being done all over Kenya or just in Turkana County?
Well, I can't speak for every other part of Kenya, but what we know is issues of laws and the policies responsible, that touches on refugees is a national function. But being a county government, we have a function constitutionally that we are supposed to be doing. And this is the function that we capitalize on in creating an inclusive, settlement and area for refugees together with the host community. And the function I'm talking about here is the fiscal planning, the spatial planning. It's our responsibility constitutionally, and also in other legal professions like County Government Act and Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011. So these are some of the things that we work around to create a conducive environment, not only to the host community, but also to the refugees, because the refugees will affect, the settlement of refugees will affect the host community as well. So we must be able to plan this, space, so that we may not have a negative impact arising from not planning, and arising from the settlement of refugees.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.